Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Kyle Kargas, real estate investor and realtor here in the Phoenix Valley, but we invest all throughout the country. Now I gotta tell you, I absolutely love California. Well, why wouldn't you? The weather's fantastic, the beaches, there's things to do, you got Disneyland. I always wanna go. My wife always wants to go. In fact, we go every year at least once, if not multiple times a year. You can have a great time there. My wife, on multiple occasions, has sent me listings of different houses that we should look into buying. Now, I really like visiting there, but I have to admit, I never want to invest in California. Let's set the stage. Now, this is a true story I'm going to tell you in California that just happened and is still happening because they're still suing each other to this day to get the rest of this figured out. You got a homeowner that lives in Los Angeles in a mansion around $3.5 million. Lives in the same neighborhood as LeBron James and Fergie. So you can expect this mansion is absolutely gorgeous. It has a pool. It actually has a tennis court up on the roof, home gym fitness center, and has its own guest house, which is absolutely critical to this story, right? This homeowner realized he had this guest house and he wanted to rent it out to other people. Now, this was partially because in the past, there was a fire in the area and he had to vacate his home and was able to stay in an Airbnb for a longer term of about 6 months. So he thought, why don't I just do the same thing with my guest house? So he puts it up on Airbnb. The landlord and the guest entered into an agreement using the Airbnb platform for 6 months. And most of this time, it went really well. But towards the end of it, there was a water leak of some sort from the shower in the guest house. The landlord tried to fix the issue, but the guest would not let them in to fix the shower, but still needed to compensate the guest for this water issue. So the landlord offered the guest a 2-week free stay. The big issue was the way that they structured this, as they did not go through Airbnb, which means the Airbnb stay ended at 6 months and they went into a new agreement for 2 weeks, verbally in between each other.
And now we have earbuds because the battery on our microphone died. Now back to the story. The landlord just wants the guest out of the guest house. Now you would think, well, if she's not paying rent anymore, you would just be able to evict her, right? Wrong. Now in California, there's a law that states that you can't legally rent out a space and collect that rent from a tenant if it's unpermitted. This is exactly what this guest is using to try to combat that. So they are in legal dispute over whether rent is owed, whether it's not owed, and he can't get her out. And they both lawyered up and are fighting, and that was continuous until she eventually left in November. And on top of not even paying rent, she's claiming that the landlord owes her $100,000 in relocation fees. You gotta be kidding me! That's a joke, $100,000? Now this story really doesn't have an end because they're still battling it all out, right? Who owes who and how much money. The one thing I'll update you on is that she did officially leave this last November. Movers just showed up, started taking stuff out of the property. The landlord didn't even know what was going on, and they wouldn't tell him anything. And after she left for a while, they're claiming it being abandonment, and they changed the locks. And the very last thing on this story is that her attorney reached back out after this to the landlord's attorney and said, "You might have changed those locks a little too early. I think they might be planning something." So that concludes our story here. However, it's not the only story, right? This is happening tons and tons of times in California and other states that have similar laws, or anywhere where landlords aren't protected. These locations that have laws like this make it very difficult for investors to offer rental properties for families to live in. It is absolutely imperative that we offer clean, solid housing to families at a reasonable price. However, I can't let people walk all over me, and if money is owed, I'm not going to let somebody rob and steal that from me. These California laws alone are stopping me from investing in California, along with many other investors across the country. Now, I have a lot of opinions on California when it comes to real estate investments, but you'll find in this channel, we talk a lot more about what to invest in, how to get a good ROI. And if you like those things, make sure you click the subscribe button and maybe even like this video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at @KyleCargis for more up-to-date things. Now, California will hold a special place in my heart when it comes to vacationing, but investing, not gonna go there. At least not with these current laws, but maybe those will change. And maybe I'll own a property there someday. You tell me, do you have an investment in California? Am I doing it wrong? How's that going for you? Leave a comment down below and let me know. I wanna know, is it going well? Is it going bad? What's the story? Do you agree with my opinions, or do you think I'm completely wrong? Would you go somewhere else with better landlord-tenant laws, or would you invest in California? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and come visit me at the next video. We'll see you next time. Peace.